We have known the dangers that Donald Trump poses to us diplomatically and economically and national security wise for a long time. Donald Trump committed treason against this country back in July of 2018, I believe, when he once again met with Vladimir Putin back then, stood shoulder to shoulder with him and took the side of a brutal, murderous dictator over the intelligence analyses of multiple intelligence agencies within the United States. That was the first time. This time might be worse. Look, obviously meetings like what took place yesterday in the United States of America, Alaska, not a foreign country, certainly not Russia, they are about optics. They're about presenting strength, the image of strength, dominance, control over whatever situation. This is one of the reasons why you host meetings like this on the soil of the United States. It can be argued, and I hold the position, that Vladimir Putin should not be welcomed here. He should not be allowed on U.S. soil. He is a war criminal. And if you're going to have bilateral talks, you do it elsewhere, maybe on neutral territory, third-party territory, like we did back in 2018 with Helsinki. That is not what took place. Donald Trump invited the brutal, murderous, killing his own people, Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, to the United States. First of all, let me play this. This was on the way there. This is Brett Baer talking to Donald Trump, who's, again, presenting himself as this dominant character. That, look, I'll know if this isn't going well, what I'm going to do is I don't even have to have a press conference. I'll just get up there and talk, and we'll send Vladimir Putin home. Any guesses on whether that happened? That was the claim. Watch this.
So we're going to see what happens. We're going to have a meeting today. Hopefully it'll be good. If it's bad, if it's something I don't see a future in, I'm a deal guy. If it's something I don't see a future in, I'm gone. I'll leave. I don't have to do a press. I'll just say, not going to be a deal. I'm out of here. And I go back to the United States.
And I go back to the United States? You're in the United States, dipshit. President of the United States. You didn't leave the country. You were over international airspace, Canadian airspace for a bit. But your destination was the United States. Alaska, if you don't know, is a part of the country that you are the president of, that you've been elected to lead. All of this was bluster. All of this was optics, because Donald Trump is an easy manipulated mark, a weasel, a coward, a supplicant of Vladimir Putin. And it should come as no surprise that, or you should not be shocked to see this clip where Donald Trump is waiting for Vladimir Putin on the red carpet, clapping, applauding. Oh, here he comes. Here comes Putin. Oh my God, I'm so excited. He's applauding the entrance of, at the very least, at the very most charitable interpretation of this, he's applauding the entrance of his equal. I would not say that the president of Russia is the equal of a United States president. I guess when Donald Trump is, you can say that. But the president is the president of the United States, the leader of the soil that he is stepping onto. He certainly shouldn't be applauded. Oh, good old Vlad's here. Watch this.
You see President Trump now clapping for President Putin, who is coming his way straight ahead right now. Let's watch and see.
And it only got worse from there. The press conference that is hosted on American soil by an American president was led by the opponent, led by the brutal, anti-democratic, human rights abusing, murderous dictator, Vladimir Putin. Seriously, unbelievable. And by the way, the clip that's going to follow is going to be Jackie Henrich from Fox News, who is also absolutely befuddled, confused by what she had just witnessed. First, though, watch Vladimir Putin taking total control over Donald Trump, dominating Donald Trump on his own soil.
President of the United States of America and the President of the Russian Federation.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, our negotiations have been held in a constructive atmosphere of mutual respect. We have very thorough negotiations that were quite useful. I would like to thank once again my American counterpart for the proposal to travel out here to Alaska. It only makes sense that we've met here because our countries, though separated by the oceans, are close neighbors. So when we've met, when I came out of the plane and I've said, "Good afternoon, dear neighbor. Very good to see you. In good health and to see you alive." I think that is very neighborly.
This is an alarming thing. This isn't just a glitch in diplomacy. This is Donald Trump ceding power, ceding dominance on American soil to a hostile foreign power. And it's not just me. It's not just liberals. It's not just lefty types who would be upset by this. Fox News. When Fox News is ding, 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 ringing an alarm bell about, holy shit, what did we just watch? You know we're in trouble. Here is Fox News reporter Jackie Henrich on the ground being very disturbed by what she just saw.
And what was really stunning to me as someone who's been in a lot of these press conferences is there were a few things that were very unusual. You had Putin come out and address the press first. I mean, we are on U.S. soil here, and that left the media scrambling to get their headsets in. Usually it is the leader of the country, the host country of a summit, that speaks first and addresses the room in their language. But Putin started right off in Russian, and we all had to get our headsets on and listen to him rattle off this diatribe about the history of the U.S.-Russia relationship, making some allusions to something that we didn't get many details on, but also, without knowing the full background of it, there was something that he said that was a little bit alarming, I thought, that seems like some of the things that he has done in the past, setting up false flags and that kind of thing, saying that we hope that Ukraine doesn't do anything to sabotage the progress that we made today, knowing full well that Ukraine has agreed to a ceasefire unconditionally for the last several months, and it has been Russia that has not agreed to a ceasefire. That was President Trump's main objective today. And when we did hear from the president, he said, we didn't get there, but we think that we can. So a lot of questions remaining for the president, Trump, not just about what was discussed in that room and what might be happening now, but also how that all happened back there.
Stunning. She was stunned by what the room was stunned by what she just watched. In a subsequent video today, I'm going to talk about a bunch of different media reactions, watching the behind the scenes action of Caroline Leavitt and others, wide-eyed, ashen eyes. Peter Alexander described it as pretty shocking. Another thing, not surprising, but shocking nonetheless, is the fact that there were no questions allowed to be asked. Donald Trump ended the press conference, and he and his pal Vladimir Putin scurried away like the rats they are as quickly as they could, presumably to avoid any questions about Donald Trump's decade-and-a-half-long best friendship with a child rapist a notorious convicted child trafficker, and the man he's called a terrific guy who loves ladies who are on the younger side. His I wish her well to the co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. Watch this. No questions. Again, not surprising. Save your, are you surprised by this comments? Nobody's surprised, but it is nonetheless shocking to witness.
I would like to thank President Putin and his entire team, whose faces, who I know in many cases, other than that, whose faces I get to see all the time in the newspapers. You're almost as famous as the boss, but especially this one right over here. But we had some good meetings over the years, right? Good, productive meetings over the years, and we hope to have that in the future. But let's do the most productive one right now. We're going to stop really 5, 6, 7,000, thousands of people a week from being killed, and President Putin wants to see that as much as I do. So, again, Mr. President, I'd like to thank you very much, and we'll speak to you very soon and probably see you again very soon. Thank you very much, Vladimir.
Next time in Moscow.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't know. I'll get a little heat on that one, but I could see it possibly happening. Thank you very much, Vladimir. And thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
He's talking about how famous people are, like normal people give a single shit about that. He's calling Vladimir Putin the boss on American soil, referring to the president of Russia as the boss. I mean, to say that we are a weak country led by a weak man is not quite getting it done. Republicans live in some kind of a fucking fantasy land that America's the greatest nation on the world, and we are now finally respected again, and no one's laughing at us like they were before. The whole world is laughing at us. We are a laughing stock. We are an embarrassment with Donald Trump at the helm, ceding power and influence and credibility to a brutal, murderous, fucking war criminal. And a little guy. I mean, optics, so important to Donald Trump. His manliness and his masculinity should be on full display at all times. And he's getting led around by the nose by this little douche. Make it make sense. Anyway, I invite your participation in this conversation. We can have that in the comments. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I would appreciate your support if you have the financial means, not if you're on disability, not if you're on retirement or a fixed income, not if you don't have it. But if you have $2 a month that you don't mind throwing away, you can throw it my way and help produce this content. You can go to my Patreon page. That's the best method. Patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. But there are also support mechanisms on YouTube and Facebook and elsewhere that I would love for you to check out. Again, if I bring you value. I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.